Welcome to St James's Park.
It's cold up there in summer, it's like sitting inside a fridge.
So ladies and gents, we're back once again by a noisy road, as today we tick number 13 off the list. Remember, we're visiting all 20 Premier League stadiums this season, and yes, number 13, is it going to be an unlucky day? I don't think it will be. I've come straight off the milk round, 4.5 hour drive, but we have made our way, you can't even see it, behind the trees over there in the distance, you've seen the thumbnail, we've made our way to the home of Newcastle United Football Club, St James's Park. Now look at it, let's cross over, let's get some beautiful shots of this iconic stadium. So there we have it in the distance, guys. Apologies for the dodgy specs once again. If you did see the Manchester United versus Spurs game this past weekend, I've got a bit of the man flu, it's still lingering, but that hasn't stopped me driving 4.5 hours to get to this beautiful stadium. St James's Park holds 52,000 according to Wikipedia. Never trust Wikipedia, which makes it the 8th largest English football stadium. I'm guessing that involves Wembley, which would make it, what, the 7th largest club football stadium. We've got a tour booked for 12:30. I'm about an hour and a half early, and as usual, we're going to do the little wander around the ground. We always finish up in the club shop, because when we visit each and every one of these 20 Premier League stadiums, the rule is we have to buy one item from the club shop. So let's go and have a look at what St James's Park, what Newcastle has to offer. Let's go. So if you are coming down for a tour, for a match day or whatever, there's no kind of, there is a car park over there, but I don't believe we're allowed to park there for the tour. I've literally parked just down there past the shops. I've already walked past the shop, really close. So in terms of if you are coming for a tour, parking's fine, there's loads of car parks. But as I stand here right outside the Milburn stand on this noisy ass bloody road, this is one of the more iconic shots of St James's Park. You've probably seen this shot numerous times, probably on a better day than today, a little bit cold and miserable looking. But even though Newcastle United started playing their football here from 1892, this place hosted football from 1880, originally with a club called Newcastle Rangers, which later folded. I believe in 1886, Newcastle West End started playing here. Essentially, I believe they merged with Newcastle East End, and later became Newcastle United. Again, never trust Wikipedia for your factual information, guys. When I do these tours, I'm very much interested in learning about the history, about the heritage, not only of the club, but of the stadium as well. So I'm going to make mistakes along the way. I'm not a Newcastle fan. This is probably your time to give me some stick in the comments below, because I'm a glory hunting Manchester United fan. But you can tell by my strong Lancashire accent that I am, nah, I'm not. Yeah, but I've always had a soft spot for Newcastle. I don't think anyone really dislikes Newcastle, if they're being honest. I mean, I started watching Premier League football in the 94-95 season, and obviously the following season, Newcastle probably should have won the Premier League. I was only like 6 or 7 then, but even then I didn't hate Newcastle. I loved the kit, I loved the entertainers under Kevin Keegan.
I will love it if we beat them, love it.
So I'm going to quit rabbiting and let's get some beautiful shots, shall we? Let's go.
I'll brave the dark at St James's Park. If the Gallagher's end in the rain, I'm coming home.
Now correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but I vaguely remember, you know, when Kevin Keegan came out and addressed the Newcastle fans after they sold Andy Cole to Manchester United. Did Keegan do it on these steps? I might be wrong, but I just have a vague memory of Kevin Keegan stood up there, all the fans around here. You would never see that in 2024. It was such a 90s thing to do.
Kevin Keegan had to face angry fans on the steps of St James's Park. They were astonished that Goal King Cole had been transferred to one of their greatest rivals, with Keith Gillespie switching to Tyneside.
And I'm proud to be a Geordie and to live in Geordie land.
We recently went down to Fulham, and obviously, notoriously, their turnstiles, their little entranceways are really narrow, and understandably so. It's such an old stadium. But if you look at these, the way into the family enclosure of the Milburn stand, it's still quite tight after a couple of pies and some pints. The Geordies, that's a tight squeeze. That is a very tight squeeze. So behind me over here, you've kind of got this tunnel type thing, similar to Old Trafford. I remember watching a video when the Newcastle fans were celebrating the takeover after the Saudi takeover a couple of years back. I remember them charging through here. We've got reception over there. I've already been in there. The tour will start from reception over there. You've got the players' entrance. Where are we? Over there. The players' entrance into the Milburn stand over there. You can see it. Players' entrance over there. We've got Alan Shearer over there, probably, especially in recent times, Newcastle's most iconic player. As of filming this, Newcastle have just beaten last weekend their arch rival Sunderland 3-0. Prior to that, Sunderland fans, or one fan, in the middle of the morning, in the early morning, because he didn't want anyone around confronting him, the naughty boy put a Sunderland shirt on that Shearer statue. Naughty. Sir Bobby Robson, not only a local legend but also an England legend. Obviously he was the manager of England during Italia 90, a tournament which obviously we remember very fondly as English people. Not me, I was like 1 year old, but what a lovely bloke, Sir Bobby. You can see the Milburn stand from here. I'm going to say this, and I don't mean to upset any Newcastle fans, but my first impressions, I try and find something negative, and that's not me being negative, because I am a very positive person. If you've watched my previous tours, you'll know I'm generally a chirpy chap, but I try and do find some bad things, just to give balance. I think the stand from the outside is looking a little bit tired, whether that's because you've got the grey, black, white, the tones, as opposed to bright colours. And we've seen lots of modern stadiums recently. It is looking a little bit tired, considering they are the richest football club in the world in terms of ownership. But I don't care, because it is striking, it's different. It plays on the black and white. It just feels Newcastle United, not because it's tired, because it's imposing, and I really cannot wait to get inside there to do the tour. I just asked one of the locals if they caught the toe rag who put the Sunderland shirt on there. He said that he doesn't think they did. So behind me, guys, of course, we've got the Gallowgate stand, the Gallowgate end, whatever you want to call it. Probably Newcastle's most famous of stands, ends. You've got Shearer's sports bar underneath. You've got the official club shop over there. At the moment it's got Castor still, but remember that Adidas, I've given it away. Newcastle are joining forces with Adidas for the 24-25 season. So we mentioned that gorgeous shirt of the 90s. Maybe there will be a lovely little throwback next season. It's a lethal combination when Newcastle and Adidas join forces. But yeah, the Gallowgate end, the Gallowgate stand, looks good.
I'll brave the dark, it's St James's Park, if the Gallowgate end in the rain, I'm coming.
Before we make our way into the shop, I thought I'd better let you know that I've seen a Newquay Brown Ale sign over there, the most iconic sponsor, arguably, of the 90s. That's why I love 90s football so much. Newquay Brown Ale should be the sponsor of Newcastle all the time. Sharp, Man United, JVC, Arsenal, Carlsberg, Liverpool.
I'd walk the streets all day, I'll need for a bottle of your own brown ale, I'm coming home.
What I love about the Geordies, they're so relaxed. The other clubs we go to, they say you can't film inside the shop, but I said just do whatever you want, mate, it doesn't matter. They've got an upstairs as well. If I'm being honest, it's probably not the bottom floor probably wasn't the best club shop in terms of variety. I asked the guy what sort of novelty items do you do, and there wasn't much available, but here we have a whole nother floor. Let's see what's up here. So yeah, upstairs is just the shirts, the kits. Downstairs is more your quirky items. I asked the lady up there, I said, why did you wear the black and white against Sunderland? Because everyone was moaning that you couldn't separate the two teams. It was hard to watch on telly because the kits clashed. Obviously Sunderland were wearing the black shorts, Newcastle the white shorts, but I think that she just said it was to assert our dominance. We're Newcastle, these were our colours, stuff Sunderland. So we've got to pass the shop again to get back to the car. I've parked over this way. And like most tours as well, guys, don't do what I normally do and buy something in the club shop. You can show your confirmation, but you've got to carry it around on the tour if you're not parked too closely. Remember, you get 10% off in the club shop, but you do it at Newcastle, you do it at most other stadiums. Who have we got here? We've got another statue here. So a lot of people ask the question why Newcastle's ground is slightly lopsided. It's not just because of the hill. Obviously if you've seen the stadium, the one side and the one end is a lot higher, is a lot taller than the other end and side. Can't remember exactly which stand is the taller one. All I need to do is look, actually. But we'll find out when we're on the tour. It's because of planning disputes, apparently. That's why residents complaining, as normally is the case if you're trying to get an extension or something at home. I think that's the case anyway. We'll find out on the tour. One thing I do like as well, and I was a little bit rude about it, looking a bit tired, but there's a lot of stuff here which looks to be unchanged from those Kevin Keegan days. You've got a prepaid ticket. I can't be actually, because it says online. It wouldn't have been online back in the day. But I love 90s football. I'm not always a fan of change. Maybe that's because I'm from a small town and we don't like change. But I love the fact that this is pretty much as it was maybe, I say 30 years ago. That's when St James's got extended, wasn't it? Under Kevin Keegan, they underwent a massive project. And I mean, at one point they were going to build a whole new stadium and kind of use this for other sports, I believe. I think I heard a story that Keegan left because they wanted to close down the Newcastle basketball team. I think I heard that on a podcast. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. So I just spoke to the kind gentleman over there. I think these are the culprits over here. These houses, understandably, they're right next to what I believe is the East Stand over here. And from what that lovely chap just said, they are trying to sort it out at the moment, so it might well get extended soon. Again, this is all new to me, guys, so let me know in the comments below. I really like the look of this. Wow, look at that. It's like something you see in ancient Egypt. Now this is what I love about older stadiums. Obviously Tottenham managed to keep the feel of White Hart Lane by building on the same site. But look at these houses. These are rather Cheltenham-like houses. I'm from Cheltenham, by the way. Probably more London, actually. Just look at these. Again, we said at the Fulham tour that despite the fact that there's terraced housing on the way into the ground, it's not your standard terraced housing you'll walk through at a football ground. And this is the same. Really classy looking. It looks like Downing Street in London. I'm expecting, I was about to say Boris Johnson. Who's the Prime Minister at the moment? Rishi Sunak. Might pop out there in a moment. But look at this. Beautiful looking housing. And then you've got an absolutely gorgeous East Stand. Fantastic. Doesn't look very English, British. Looks like something you see in like Italy, the San Siro. Kind of the Italia 90 era. Any excuse to bring up 90s football, right? So I'm going to probably butcher the word. Leazes stand is the final one we need to discover behind this gentleman over here. Again, talking about that potential new stadium being built, I believe, was it the 90s? Was it around the Kevin Keegan era? I think they were planning on building over there, like a new Leazes. I'm going to ask someone how you pronounce it. So which would mean, again, correct me if I'm wrong, the new stadium would have been here, and they would turn this into like a multi-sport kind of facility. I'm going to ask someone. No one around here looks like they like football though, that's the problem. So I just asked the lads behind me over there, I said, boys, how do you pronounce that, Leazes? But they had such strong Geordie accents, I couldn't really understand them. Leazes? I told him I needed Geordie accent to pronounce that. Everyone's so friendly though, you find that when you come up north. I mean, people are a little bit snooty where I'm from. Cheltenham's mistakenly not as posh as people think. Originally from Hereford, so I'm obviously rough and ready. Now that guys, what does that remind you of? Multi-storey car park vibes, but what stadium has the little whip round like that? Think 2002 Commonwealth Games, think Manchester, but think of the worst half of Manchester, the blue half. That reminds me of the Etihad, very Etihad over there. This is what I love. This is the problem with the new bowl type stadiums. You don't get the quirkiness that you get in these older stadiums. The bloody East Stand was like we'd gone down Craven Cottage. It was beautiful. The Leazes stand looks a bit like the Etihad. The front, probably the most famous Milburn stand, and the Gallagate are as I expected when I came here. Now I did ask the boys over there as well. I did ask to confirm, is this where they were planning on building the new stadium? And that is indeed, that park over there is indeed where the new stadium, like I'm talking about it like it's new news, it's like 30 odd years ago, isn't it? Now, unlike Man City, that does look like a multi-storey car park, because it is a bloody multi-storey car park. It's fit for purpose, of course. That's why it looks like a multi-storey car park. Pay here, pay and display, guys. You've got another one over there. Man City's is like your way into the ground, whereas if you try doing that around here, you're going to get run over, because it is a car park. That's why it looks like a car park. So again, probably shouldn't use Wikipedia as my source, but before we go in to do the tour, I thought I'd give you a few facts. Again, this stand was completely demolished and rebuilt in the early 90s, possibly 1993. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, wasn't this the one with no roof, like an open terrace, possibly? Pretty much everything was modified, including the Gallagate, the Milburn. Massive renovations went on around here. Obviously Newcastle was somewhat struggling in what's now the Championship, near the bottom of the table. Keegan came in, and obviously a couple of years later they're fighting for the title with Man United. Really should have won the title. Yep, says it on Wikipedia, so it must be true. Over there, a new 65 million purpose-built 55,000 seater stadium was looked into being built behind me over there, which was less than 2 pitch lengths away from the original. So I think you'll all agree, guys, that's the money shot. That's where we're going to finish this external tour. Let's get in there now, check in and check out the inside of this iconic football stadium. Let's go. It's all Bobby Robson stuff, is it?
This is the clue planner.
Ah, yeah.
Bobby Robson. Bobby Robson. No.
Sorry, I am.
Rather quick to tell you a little bit about what happens there.
Because behind each stand we have Leazes Terrace, which are listed buildings. Right through the garden was all redeveloped in 1996. And then we still found that the capacity wasn't enough. So they tried to build a new stadium, the other side of Leazes Park. And I'm sure engineering wise things have come on loads since this was built in the year 2000. So this stadium's been the same since the year 2000. As you can see now, all away section is safe standing now. All 3,200 seats. They're all safe standing. We also have a safe standing over there in the strawberry corner, the adjacent corner there. We've got enough safe standing for 1,800 people. It's just a trial at the minute. The fans are in, by the sounds of it, they're all enjoying it, so there's a chance of that getting extended. I think if it does get extended, it'll come into the Gallagher end rather than going through into the Leazes end.
So I'm at the highest point of the stadium. Again, this is the Milburn stand. Now, this was apparently the largest cantilever roof, at least in the Premier League, but it's not anymore. Obviously, we did the London Stadium tour, and that's now got the biggest cantilever roof in Europe anyway. This is really high up. This is the 7th floor. We've got the lift up to 6. I'll just come up the last lot of steps, and I'm already out of breath. I've got to watch my steps here. I've been at the top of the Sir Alex Ferguson stand, the old North stand at Old Trafford, and that's high up. But this feels even higher. Just look at that. By the way, this is like a family enclosure as well. They won't tolerate swearing, as it says on the sign, and if you get reported swearing, you'll get thrown out. The away fans are over there in the safe standing. There is safe standing over there in the distance as well, in the corner. Yeah, all the away fans are in the safe standing. Anyway, I need to crack on. Sorry.
What happens here? So, as you can see, that's a 16-seater box. These 16 seats here are 620, 619. These 16 seats. That's not a Wilson box, by the way. Just get some great desk. Tomorrow, I was always told to the fans out on that corner.
So as you can see as well, scattered around the stadium, you've got flags as well, so supporters obviously can wave the flags. It's a real nice sight to see the Newcastle sign without that Sports Direct logo either side. I hated that, and I'm sure Newcastle fans did too. The tour guide said the capacity is actually over what I mentioned earlier. What was it, 52,000? I think there's like an extra 200-300 seats on top of what Wikipedia said. But there was more, but they got rid of them for hospitality packages. We speak about that quite a lot when we do tours with like Brentford and stuff. I mentioned that obviously clubs are focusing more on hospitality. Fulham have got the new Riverside stand as well, backing onto the Thames. Hospitality is like a pure money maker for clubs these days.
Yeah, the last trophy we won in 1969, that was the first Cup of European trophy. There's Bob Moncur, our captain with our vice captain Frank Clark. And last but not least, there's the man himself, there's Shearer scoring his 206th goal at the Stadium of Light in the Lions Den itself back in 2000. had people in the queues, you walk round to see everything, and people were taking photos of every single present.
Oh, home.
So coming here, this is the players' bit. This is obviously these. By the way, these shirts are just put out for the job purposes. Socks, shorts, shin pads. Please be careful of the tripod. I didn't want to say that. Actually, there is a store that guys run and checks all the boxes now. Right, so what we've got, left hand side, got the home dugout, right hand side we've got the rear. What used to be 19 seats there and 13 seats there, with another U8 one of the book of many, we had to give them 19 seats, but what I can tell you is they'll be nice and heated. See about the suites, once you've got the kids in here, advertising all possible. That's where you see top. Your wings is the other side of that. The entrance for it is the other side of that. Well, that's nice, very nice.
Funny trip.
Well, aye, but you know,
How's Kevin?
the usual eyes.
The boys are alright.
The boys are funny, aye.
Liz, alright?
I just come out of school because it's having some more strike to kill it to keep in school. Is it worth it? I mean, the worst thing I'm seeing with all that is the check-out. You know, it's getting worse, you know, as I'm getting older. I come back, normally when we come back in.
Last minute reports to do, we'll go through there and do. Ask is that you do not touch the mics because they are skies and they're very, very fragile. Someone broke one, you'll have even more wrong. Perfect. Thank you. Come this way because it's steep that side. Any more photos of that? So we're happy. Right. You want to speak truthful? Yeah. I think we'll get a big full one. There you go. Right. Is have a safe journey home and thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. See you around, mate. Thank you.
And that's the tour. What we're going to do now, we're going to head over to the club shop, grab an item, and I'll see you in the car to find out what I bought from the club shop. Right then, guys. Apologies for this. I'll be honest, love the stadium, but I think on telly it actually looks better than it does in person. Often when we do these tours, it's the other way around. Nice, lovely, really like it. Love Newcastle, the club, love the stadium and stuff. I don't know what I was expecting. I thought this would be the best one so far, and as much as I've enjoyed it, it wasn't the best one, but it was all right. The club shop, however, we always talk about how much better the club shops are compared to the Old Trafford one. We always say that the Old Trafford Man United club shop is just basically like an Adidas mega store. No novelty, quirky items, just clothes, just like Adidas training wear. The Newcastle shop is just like that. I'd say it's probably worse. The only novelty thing I could find was this vinyl duck. I'm hoping this has some Newcastle branding on. I've got a little man cave at home. All of these items I'm getting every time I visit a Premier League stadium. We'll do a video on at the end of the season. But all in all, I've had a great day, and if you've enjoyed this video, head over now on my left hand side for more stadium tours. We've got the whole playlist down here, and we've got some of my more recent tours in the top left. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next tour. Let's go.